If you are listening to the commentary for Tremors 5 Bloodlines, go ahead and press play now. 'Cause it's time for some podcasting. Please keep on fucking listening. 'Cause it's time for Talking Tremors shit. Talking Tremors shit. Wah, wah, wah. Hey, and welcome to the 6th episode of Talking Tremors. I know, I sound all sad. I am your host, not survivalist Bert Gummer, but Levi Dylan Berthlofflet. And I hope you enter into and with me through the sands of hell. Oh man, I don't want to do this so much. This movie is a lot of pain. Okay. What can how do I start? My note to start is literally, I don't know where to start. Man. You know what? I always like starting with good. I really love this opener in a way. Like, oh man, this is so cool. Bert is out foraging for shit. He's being his survivalist self. Like, shit, man, you could make a whole movie that was just this. I don't know why the movie wasn't this. Like, just legitimately them honestly trying to film, like, that they didn't incorporate any of that meta aspect anymore to actually, instead of at the end showing, Travis and Bert are going to go out and do stuff, why not show, oh yeah, this is the actual footage that we filmed while we were hunting the graboids and ass blasters in Africa. Because it's a much better idea than what happened. And then, so I gotta point this out. There's a YouTube video called Monstrous Wildlife or Monstrous Profiles. I'm pretty sure they took most of this from it. Like, if there's somebody out there that was watching it and they cribbed from you, like, we need to find out, because this intro uses a lot of your shit. I do love this. And remember, life and survival starts here. And this is this is like great Bert Gummer. Like, I didn't even know that's a rubber snake till everybody on the internet pointed it out. I can miss things too, folks. And yeah, man, that opening is fucking awesome. Like, and if you watch the TV show, you're like, oh man, Bert Gummer's got his survival school going. Jody even talks about the videos. You made me look like she made me look like Rambo. So it's a natural continuation of, hey, it's Riddick. We have South African Riddick now. Oh man, I had to get a big jug of water because I'm gonna be talking so much. This shit's fucking insane, man. Cribbing from everything. I don't know if I'm using that word right, crib, but or crimping or taking or whatever, man. I mean, we'll get into that when I do the Tremors 5 Gummer Down Under thing. That's I had to literally make a whole separate page for that. Like, we have Bloodlines on this side and Tremors 5 Gummer Down Under on this side. That's how much fucking shit we can go through here. We'll get, the piss and shit thing. There's so much of it in these Don Michael Paul movies. I talked about it in the later ones. And this one opening with this guy, like, taking a shit and then falling in a hole that he somehow didn't fucking notice was there. Like, they even have a crane shot where it's like, okay, yeah, like, we can tell that there was nothing there. And then, maybe like, the graboid, it shaked the ground and now it made the hole. No, there was a crane shot, and these are rocks. That hole was always there, and that guy's an idiot for not seeing it. That doesn't happen like that when you're hiking. Like, okay, and especially if you're like trained poachers, especially if you're a dude with a fucking cane. Why is a guy with a cane out there with a fucking poaching? What use is this man? But stay in the truck, man. Stay in the truck. What were you doing? When I first watched this, oh man, I fully expected, and this is before Bert even has a line about it, like that, like an actual, like, walking, because you see these cave paintings and shit on the wall, like an actual walking, talking shrieker to come up and, hello, I'm gonna eat your fucking face. And, or maybe they're more civilized. But even this opening was never scared. This is because it's so goofy the way it got set up. These movies, the 5 through 7, try to go for this. We're serious and we're edgy and shit, man. Yeah, because sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and you're like, you're almost making yourself less scary by doing that. That's what the first 4 movie. Actually, 4 does a great job with that. Low key is a lot scarier than in your face shit. But I hate to say there's some great cinematography, but you know what, man? I can't feel like this cinematography, the filming of this wouldn't have been any different. If Stampede had actually gotten their hands on it. I always wondered that. Don Michael Paul combined with Stampede's writing. What do you get with that? They're behind the scenes, actually working together, because it's more this is just in the new era. We have new cameras. We can do new shit. It's literally been 15 years since the last Tremors. Everything's gonna look different. And yeah, okay. Oh, gotta take a breath. And he's pissing himself. Oh my god, there's another one. So there's boom. So we've got shit at the beginning. He's pissing himself. We're gonna have coming up here next where Travis is pissing. Oh man, we'll get it. Does Don Michael Paul have a piss and shit fetish? I don't know. I'm not saying that insincerely. It's more like, hey man, you do you, but it doesn't belong in this Tremors movie. So please and thank you. Get rid of it. And then hey, we want you to remember this is a Tremors movie, right? Because it's got the same logo as the first one, and we went even into it. Oh, and look, there's someone over here, and he's like Val McKee, and he's peeing. Oh, remember the first movie? Buy more things from us. This is why I didn't want to do this one. There's so much frustration built into this because of the dual knowing the actual Tremors 5 and then knowing this one, and you're like, oh man. So not only did you just take what was good and actually what was different. I'm gonna get into it later. But then just smash it, my toys now. Yeah, man. Okay, and I always like to point out credits to things. The dirt bike is fucking kind of dumb and ridiculous. We can maybe all agree that. Michael Gross gets top billing, motherfucker. Actually, did he? I was gonna say, I wasn't even. Wasn't even paying attention. That's how much it pisses me off. I hope he got top billing. But anyway, this dirt bike chase. At least you set up something, movie. Thank you for later on. Oh yeah, that's why Travis somehow is able to lure the graboid away. We're never gonna use this skill again, but thank you. Maybe they do use it again when he technically doesn't even drive the four-wheeler to blow it up, but whatever. Maybe I'm not giving them enough credit. I would love for that to be true. Because it's Bert's Bullseye brand shit. Oh, man. There's actually a great series of YouTube videos that are featurettes on the DVD of this where Bert is, selling things. One of them, hey, you should eat bugs while you're in the wild. And I've got, a whole bag of bugs. You can buy water purification tablets, or my personal favorite because of or buy Bert's Bullseye brand pantyhose, and it shows an actual box of it and shit. And, God damn, man, I talked about it in the other ones with the 7, the featurettes of Bert Gummer are almost better than the actual movie because there's more writing put into it, I guess. There's Michael Gross is writing them, so that's why they have a little bit better grasp of what they're doing because he's so very strict about what they do with the Bert character. I always come back to that. Oh yeah, will you come to a convention and improv for us as Bert? Guys, I can't. It's just not. You have no idea the amount of writing it takes to go into this. Oh yeah, man. Bert's a precise guy. Even that, it took me, 30 minutes to like make this an hour or two to heat it up, and like look at that. Now we're all set and ready to go after I wait another 3 hours for it to fully cook. Bert's Bullseye brand cactus marinade will eradicate any of that tastes like chicken residue. Yeah, I was gonna say flavor, but it's that residue. Like that, he's so precise in his language. It's kind of amazing. And then to know then where like, oh yeah, 6 and 7, even this one starts to slowly veer off. Oh, and here he is, Jamie Kennedy. Take him or leave him, folks. I'm not gonna. I have no opinions about Jamie Kennedy. I don't know, man. Like he's such a nothing to me. I don't mean that in a bad way, but like other people don't like Jamie Kennedy. Other people love him, and he's just so neutral to me. I love Scream. Richie in that, or no, it's not Richie, but whatever his character's name in that. Always love the meta. But yeah, I got no qualms on Jamie Kennedy, but I do have some qualms on what he brings to whatever the fuck this is. Like, come on, man. And I have to point this out while the cameraman's leaving. So Bert's in the desert, and Larry's not there filming. I know it's like, oh yeah, they're rebooting stuff, so that's ridiculous to like think of. But it's really like, okay, so like the last we left off of this man, like you had Larry following him more and more, and then having a camera while doing so, and then you're telling me that like, yeah, he didn't end up as Bert's cameraman. I know you can't get J.D. Walsh back, or you didn't want to, or just fuck everything because you're Universal, but just saying, it just shows a lack of care to the continuity, or because I don't want to say continuity in terms of just like having, you need to stand by the rules, but more a flow. Like there's definitely, when you watch this, if you would watch the TV show and then now you're watching this in chronological order, you'd be like, what happened? Did I miss something? Was there another prequel that I didn't know about in the 80s or something where they killed everybody with a time machine? And man, yeah. I'm gonna stop. There will be times I stop because I'm always thinking about like, man, what if Jamie Kennedy actually worked here? Because there's this like quid pro quo thing happening between him and Michael Gross where they're totally like different people or whatever. And I listening to interviews, I don't know, they're both not sketchy at each other, but they're just like, oh yeah, no, Mike's a different guy than I am, and yeah, I love Jamie. He's just, definitely out there, and okay, different flavor personalities blending is something I don't ever want to hate about the people that actually do this behind the scenes, like camera on set and stuff, because they're actually trying to create something. It's more the executives like in their offices doing crazy ass shit. That's like, okay, this is our timeout problem. And oh hey, yeah, you got that hippy dippy love look, Bert. You remember that? The 60s? No? Anything? That's not foreshadowing. Nope, we didn't have that conversation for any reason at all. How are you? Tuesday afternoon. Hey, it's John Hammond! Van Dick. Dick Van Dyke coming through. But no, seriously. South African John Hammond. And in a not surprising turn of events, ends up being exactly like John Hammond in the books and a sniveling winebag piece of shit. Yeah, watch Red Green instead of Tremors 5. That's on my cup. Yeah, it fucking makes me stop too because I'm doing the Tremors 5 Gummer Down Under one after this. Because you need to know a lot of things, and just like, oh yeah, no, this guy's totally evil, like setting it up. Like, why the fuck would you trust this guy, Bert? There's, and in the original script, there's a couple people at least, so it's like, oh okay, like, yeah, like if one shady guy came up, you're like, hey, whatever, man, like get out of here. But like 2 of them or 3, you're like, all right, okay, fair, maybe we'll listen to you. And yeah. God, I guess now the Jurassic Park thing. If you're gonna like reference a movie that you think is better than you, like that your thinking is good enough to reference because you love it that much, then in the sense of homage, you have to take that and actually do something with it. You can't just like carbon copy, like. And I have this weird feeling that it's around this time, and this movie, because there's so many movie fans, horror fans that love Tremors, like, maybe you see, like, oh yeah, now we can start, like, just popping in these pop cultural references that don't really, like, fit to everything. It's cool when a meta character does it. I love the characters of Grady and Larry, give or take however you feel about them, but their ability to like know what's happening in a very real world sense just because they've studied about it. Oh yeah, graboids and shriekers and ass blasters are real. You're gonna have people that like obviously read up on them and know what's happening, and those people will probably have watched movies and stuff and like can make those like little bits of references. And yeah, remember that foreshadowing? I mean, the 60s? I mean, hey, Heather? Ugh. And then this is the movie's attempt to be like, hey, we don't need Stampede because we've got all of these symbols of what they were. Boop. And you know what? Quite frankly, like, oh yeah, we've got Yetis and wherever and a couple of werewolves. Like, why don't we just do that movie instead? Like, maybe let's not steal from somebody else. Like, if you wanted to, let's just do that. Hey, let's stop Tremors 5 Bloodlines right now. Oh wait, but what if I promise to fully fund your dig for a further 3x of this movie, and then I'll try to kill you, but you don't know that. It's a little bit of an Australian accent, but maybe South African. There it is. Yes, maybe I could. The South African wildlife. Yes. It's okay to do that accent because he's white. I honestly don't know. All impressions are cool in my book. Everybody's human. Yeah, man. Wow. Da, 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 da. Yeah, this movie looks so expensive. I often wonder how they, like, the reasoning for Universal, like, oh yeah, we don't want Stampede anymore, was because, oh, like, you don't know how to do low-budget movies, and we're going to do low-budget stuff from now. But we got this helicopter! Woo! Helicopter over the savannas of Africa! We traveled all the fucking way there! Woohoo! Oh, man. Don Michael Paul's stash of Swackhammer cocaine there. Like... what about... Okay, I do love this part of the movie. This fucking... this bush pilot... Bruta. When the sun rises in Africa, you better be running. I don't know why. It's just fucking kooky. Again, here's another... That's the, like... so much things in these movies where you could have just been fleshed out. Or had more of... I don't know. Maybe it's not my problem, where it's just like, oh, why is there not more of what there should obviously already be? But that little Bert and the pilot guy having their back and forth with each other, their mano y mano, is really good. It's something that should have been incorporated more into Tremors 7 with Richard Brake. And this is insane. Okay, so I was talking about in the 6th podcast episode where in the sixth movie, Bert like yells at Travis like when they're going to, oh yeah, are you sure you can be prepared to like go and do you have the RCMP 5194? Like he is like drilling him on that. And like Bert, as I've said, is so precise with everything that he's doing. He didn't know about custom law in wherever country he was going to. He had enough brains to set up a seismometer. He's got the whole, oh yeah, I connected into the South African Grid of National freaking Seismology and shit. But you didn't think about the guns? Not Bert. Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up. And he knows he's going to outrun the fastest lion. I love this monologue. Every morning a lion wakes up and he knows that he's got to outrun the slowest like gazelle. Otherwise, you're going to starve to death. So it doesn't matter if you're a lion or a gazelle. When you're in Africa, you better be running. Sorry, when the sun rises in Africa, you better be running. I don't know, man. God damn. Let's get rid of Jamie Kennedy. And why wasn't there just a movie? And the writer of this movie, John Welpley, you could tell he learned a lot from Stampede because he does a great job of like those little bringing things back around that where he spits. And Bert's like, yeah, I'm not gonna. I mean, you're cool, but I'm not gonna shake your spit hand. But then later on in the movie is one of my favorite things where Bert like is fucking almost dead and does it, and like the guy's halfway dead too, and just like, oh hey, I love you, man. And Bert does the spit hand for, but like does it back. Oh, it's the coolest little actual character moment. Which hurrah! Actually, now that I think of it, he's the only one that gets any character moment. Not even Jamie Kennedy. Oh my god, like, I'm thinking about where he starts and where he ends. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Jeez, that's fucking... Oh, that sucks. Oh, man. Hey, what's up, Riddick? Again, what do you... I mean... Is this a community episode? Are we doing... is this community? And we decided to do a paintball episode? We got homages all over the place. Again, capture, like, yeah, come on, Bert, this is when you should have known better, and I can't believe that Travis picks up on it, like, before Bert, especially when later he's got a whole thing about, in the sixth one, you from the government? You from the government? And then that one guy, like, you from the government? Well, I am. Oh, yeah, I know you're doing something bad. Hey, and again, you remember that movie, guys? Jurassic Park? Have you ever seen Jurassic Park? Have you ever seen it? For podcast people, I put up a Jurassic Park blanket over here. I thought it was funny. I didn't even think of it until like 5 minutes before I started. But Jurassic Park? Huh. And not... Ah, man. So then... and it... There's a thing, too. So if you're watching the original Tremors movie, there's not much in terms of references. And like I said, when you get people that do it, it's the Grady and the Larrys, and they're treated as weird. Like, there's so many. So we're referencing Jurassic Park while we're also referencing Tremors? Guys, you've got to pick a fucking lane, man. Like I said, I just said I would like more. Or, like, you got to fucking pick what you're doing here. What are you fucking doing? Ah! Why? Just be something. Like, my mind goes back to that. We could put Tremors on an empty box and it's like fly off the shelves. There's another Jurassic Park. Like, he's got the glasses coming in on the Jeep. Like, Jesus. Boot. Man. Like, really? Ballin'? It's not ballin'. What's the Zulu word for ballin'? I don't know. Is that racist, folks? I have this racism note. And I don't know. I don't know, man. Some of it can be... I want to live in the world where this is just South Africa, and we just went here, and nobody cared, and we were saying things back and forth, but just... seeing everything else that happened, I don't believe that. When they went to Thailand, and you have those two characters that are the only, okay, they're not the only, but the Asian and black character that just stand there in the background for like every scene. You're like, okay, man. And again, the guns thing, this guns thing. Almost killed myself. I'm so angry there. You're telling me I don't even really like guns, folks. Okay, I am so meh about guns. Find a better way to do something. Guns just kill. We don't have graboids, so most of the time they just kill humans. Unless you're hunting for deer, most of the time. But, Bert didn't fucking think about guns like that? He didn't check customs laws? Are you kidding? And he went to Mexico. He went to Mexico and he went to Argentina. And in both cases, got a huge fucking assortment of guns. And fucking explosive artilleries and shit. You're telling me that he didn't know about fucking customs laws in South Africa enough? It goes, that thing I said in the seventh movie, Bert's on an island and he doesn't have any guns? Okay, you're just making up reasons for him to have to do it the hard way. And not just like natural, shit happened. I love in the Gummer Down Under script that Bert finally gets a minigun and he fires off 10,000 rounds and, I only can do like 3 minutes of this because it's realistic. Oh, man. Oh, and here's free Wi-Fi in a coffee shop is fine. You are caramel macchiato, with this pumpkin spice. And I don't even want to do a Jamie Kennedy. Hey, it's a little bit of, what if I was a little bit sexist to you? I've just met you, and I don't even know you, but I just want to comment on everything about your looks, so that way you know that you are just an object of physical attraction to me. Yeah? Okay? Shaboom booms. I will distract myself as I go here because this is so infuriating. I'm going to latch on to any little thing to maybe make it better. Travis, did you eat the worm? Yeah, because it's a metaphor for this whole movie, man. We're all eating worms. We got nothing better to do. Yeah, man. And then here's that edgy thing that I talked about, over injecting the violence and the sexiness because it sells. And you're like, does it really? At the cost of what? What are we? We're trading out maybe a few fans over here and really losing everybody else in the long run. I always love what Russell T did with Doctor Who. You take it from that sci-fi male-driven idea and be like, no, this is a whole period piece drama thing. We can have not necessarily sexiness, but romance into it. And not even that, but court that female crowd and shit, man. But this is just nope. Oh yeah, some people are naked and they died. Or I love Decker's shot. Or maybe they had the fucking greatest orgasm ever. Because you don't really why'd you choose to fuck me on my period? That's a bad joke, but also very true with all the amount of blood. You're just like, come on. What do you want here? So angry it hurts, man. And little shots here that look cool and stuff. But when you go back to the practical effects of the original Tremors movie, I don't know, bar's pretty high, man. Come on. Come out. Hey man, I know locations are in heads, but maybe you could have figured it out before you had a conversation with all of us. And yeah, hey, look at this thing that's obviously no, we don't need to focus on it. Who was Travis's mom again? Heather. Sky. That's what I like about the dirt bike is the subtlety of it, but when you're just calling it out like that, hey, what is that up there? Oh, should we pay attention to it? Okay, and we're back. And I love sci-fi, and you gotta put exposition in, man, but there's the sleeping bag on the fucking the truck, guys. That is foreshadowing. Don't push shit. Say what you need to say, get out. It's called character moments. That is how you define things. That's it. Look, these creatures are absolutely unprecedented. Yeah? Well, where do they come from? It says so much more. Not just with the actual, we don't know what's happening. These are strange-ass creatures. But also, oh, wow, the scientists not knowing, and also the regular townspeople not even knowing what not knowing means for a scientist. Oh, wow, there's a lot of ideas at play that really hurt. And okay, man. Here's another. I call him out when the great shots happen, when that pull away. But that's also that's from like Tremors the series, man. They did that all the time. That's a straight up Tremors the series. In the title opener, but then also all throughout episodes and shit, man. Like that's that ground. Oh man. Yeah, and I don't want to talk too much about Tremors 5 Gummer Down Under yet, because I gotta get there. But there's all these things that you see from it where you're like, because in that they have the idea of like they knew about him beforehand. Like the opening starts off with an actual graboid hunt like 800 years ago, and they go like back and forth with that cave paintings idea. Actually, that people might know about them and shit. But so how are they finding these? And how is that girl who's like then later is like, oh yeah, the Incambie and Umbundulu, our ancestors fought them, and we specifically know why they hunt things, because they come out at night. Like, girl, you didn't know about this? You didn't. There's nobody around that knew about these. Like, truly, there's a guy Hoka in the. You could. Oh, I love. Not cozy. You can join, Mr. Welker. This is the hot zone. Bert, Michael Gross almost slips into a southern accent. First, not cozy. You can join, Mr. Welker. Like, whoa, what was that? Like, are you mocking him in some way? Like, what was that? Thanks, Michael Gross. Do you not like Jamie Kennedy either? But seriously, how did that lady not like say right then and there, oh yeah, by the way, Bert, we have super graboids, and we've known about them all this time, and yeah, would you like to know more? Would you like to know more? Please click one of my bows and arrows. Black Laura Croft and the piss and shit fetish. What is it, Don Michael Paul? Yeah. Why? I'm now really thinking of it. Oh my god. Why the fuck? It's not something I wrote down. I'm just like discovering it as I'm going here. Why the hell didn't you fucking say anything? You've got a rock here that's literally shaped like a graboid, and you didn't bother saying to anybody at that dig site where you found a fossil of a graboid, oh, by the way, yeah, we totally know about these. Our ancestors, yeah, I'm gonna deliver to you some, this is actual plot exposition. You know, there's a whole thing. Like, we know all about them. It's fucking crazy. But Jamie Kennedy, he was hitting on me too much. And so now I don't feel like sharing it with you guys. I'm sorry. You can't even say that she did it to not, like, oh, she wanted to lure Jamie Kennedy to this. She doesn't even like him. So, like... And if she does, that's fucked up, because the grand total of interaction that they've had together is, oh yeah, I think that you're a latte. Like, there's a graboid puppet! Why did you not say anything? It was, like, there's this specific scene that's happening after that, where we just seen this, I love that Imbandulu, you make graboid sound good. Yeah, she does, but at what cost, Jamie Kennedy? At what cost? Man, and that's something, another crib from the freaking Stampede script, the Gubalagare and the Akuru, like, oh yeah, we just changed the name. Fuck you. I know what you did. We all know what you did. Yeah, man. And well, here's another, okay, there's no sense to that at any point are these people, like, reacting to the, okay, if they have that whole dance, nobody's reacting to these things like they actually know that they exist. I have that problem with that poacher dude, like, he keeps like, oh yeah, it couldn't be worms here because like we don't got that because it's somehow Africa, so there's no way graboids could be here. Even though we had an episode of the TV show where they specifically stated that they got shrieker eggs from the Sahara Desert. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way. Fucking. No, that was North Africa. This is South Africa. Total difference. I mean, there is, but you know what I mean. Like, it's a continent. That's all that matters. Like, they have enough to like get around and shit. Yeah. So, like, how are people not reacting to this as if they actually know what's happening? And they do a great thing in the other script where the Hoka, like, doesn't 100%, like, he's more of like the caretaker of the region, and like he's not 100% that the things are real. He knows of them, and so he does try to give information, but he's not sure if it's false or anything because he's not operating on like, oh, I know these are real. But this lady has an entire fucking parade of people jumping around in graboid and shrieker and ass blaster costumes, and she didn't bother to get up. Hey, Mr. Gumma, this is the whole thing that we've got happening here. I'm gonna fuck up accents because this pisses me off so much. These guys right here are fighting an ass blaster, and they're not like, there's no, yeah, I'm just gonna fucking slice it because that always looks cool and shit. Never mind that it's a flying carnivore that looks like someone shit out of their mouth. That is the worst redesign ever. I will accept the graboid redesign and the shrieker redesign because they at least stay like. And I don't mean like, oh, it has to be exactly. They at least stay faithful to an idea of like what something looks like. Hell, okay, that doesn't even look like an ass blaster. You just made an entirely new creature and just fucking stuffed it in there. And okay, they're Africanized and evolved and shit. Okay, that's an entirely different creature that somehow shoots fire out of its ass. And it doesn't even glide very well and shit. Oh, you can tell this one gets me. Oh man. But then again, great shot. I love Bob Rushy pointed this out where there's that this light, this blue light here. Whatever Don Michael, and I don't want to credit him, but he's the name that I think of the most because he has that influence all throughout of it. That the color scheme in this totally changed things up for Tremors. And I don't know if in a good way either. Because I think you can do a lot of different things inside of that Tremors color palette. That orange, that brownie, orange, yellow, almost, and then blue, obviously, just that landscape of gold, which works for the desert and shit. Anywhere you put it would have worked in fucking Tremors 6. But that, like, shit looks great here. Like, the actual physical, like, composition of shit. But again, there's a team of people that always put stuff like this together. So, maybe I'm calling out for kudos the wrong person. It's not Don Michael Paul. I would need to really figure out that it's so hard because you got to look at like behind the scenes things to really see who's like doing stuff around the set. And so they're cribbing things from the Stampede script. Here's one. Oh, excuse me. Bert has an experimental ass blaster tracking device. It's really just a heat signature device that, like, because the ass blaster has to shoot fire out of its ass all the time, it's gonna like register on higher heat signature. Here's a good one. Like, why aren't we using that? Like, you tell me Bert has everything else. He's got everything else, a bunch of other things from the script, which is the satellite seismo and the magnesium flares and the heat packs and these mylar ponchos, which are from the TV show. Like, all of that's in the original script. But he couldn't get the thing that would make things, like, believable, like, for Bert. Like, especially, like, if you went ass blaster hunting, like, the reason that they only accepted to do the shrieker, the hunting, the graboid hunting in the second Tremors movie is because they halfway had a plan of, like, oh, yeah, we have these seismometers, we'll go out there, we can tell where they happen, and then we'll set out this little RC car and, like, blow them up and shit. It's super fucking easy. Like, okay. Why would you do that and then accept this job with ass blasters? And especially then he says the thing about, like, oh, yeah, you got shriekers, you got ass blasters, you got graboids, which doesn't make any sense in terms of, like, unless you knew about their nesting behaviors and how long they lasted. Like, that's not... If you've got graboids, you've got ass blasters. 1, 2, 3. Not, oh, if you have 3, then you must have 1. Like, I mean, we all know that. And yeah, this explaining the body heat thing, and even this poacher guy. Oh, you just now are believing in that, and there's not even a sense of like incredulity. 1, don't you ever rip off Pacific Rim again. Number 2, don't you ever rip off Pacific Rim again. Like that's the, you know, if you can't come up with better dialogue and you're stealing from other movies, if you're taking from Tremors and you're repurposing it, whatever, man. There's a great Considerate Stepped On that gets reused in this. Like, I don't know if it's better or anything, but it's, at least from what they're doing, when you start pulling from other things, you're like, okay, cool. And again, and that's just like, they're just straight up pulling, not even like giving any credit and stuff, or making something new. That's what makes those original ones so good. In terms of, the first one is that cliched turnaround stereotype of the 1950s monster movies. That second one, you start making fun of like your own, like the 90s monster movies. Third one, making fun of your own. Fourth one, making fun of what you can do with anything at all. Hey, this guy, oh yeah, they shoot fire out of your ass. I've been telling you that the whole time, man. Oh, there's so many conversations that just like, oh yeah, you were already given this information. Why are you in any way needed to repeat it? Not even from an audience standpoint. It feels like they're just mocking us. Like whoever made this is just like, yeah, you know, we know people who watch Tremors are dumb, so we're just gonna like put anything in front of them and they'll just fucking love it. And you're like, oh, fuck you, man. Just no. I would rather learn more about film and everything, so that way I stop watching things like this than like, or not, you know, you could watch it supporting it. Like being like, yeah, this is the best. I fucking love it. I always feel so bad when people say that because I could tell that they probably don't have a whole grasp on anything. If you hear someone say, I love Tremors 5 to 7, usually followed by, and the fourth movie is the worst one. So it's like, okay, you just have your sense of nuance and shit just kind of went out the window. But you know what? You still love that. So maybe we can get you back around to like into that mode, caring about story and shit. Yeah, Bert swears so much in this too. Ass blaster, flambe, shit creek. I don't know. Maybe he swore a bunch in the first movie. You know, they had to dub the motherfuckers to mother humpers. But it doesn't feel in character. I don't know. Like, I'll criticize the technical things because it seems more appropriate. But there's all these character things, like that gun thing. Like that gun. How does Bert not know about guns and shit? He brought magnesium flares. Like, and he didn't. He knew that would make it through, like, but didn't think about the guns. I just am in. I'm floored. And yeah. And then yeah. And here's another, like, Tremors is always about, if there's action, it's filmed in the daytime. I mean, if you're gonna separate these movies, if they're gonna be Tremors movies, a whole bunch that action's got to be done in the daytime, or in a way like you got to be seeing this, man. Like the CGI on these ass blasters is whatever. The graboids is all right, but like, oh, you're just hiding it in the dark, something that you know is probably shit, and to all this darkness, and there's some practical effects, like there's that fire and shit. Oh, I want to talk about this so hard before we even get to it. Like, Bert is gonna kill a guy here, man. Like, Bert kills his first person. Like, legitimately. Like, he shoots this ass blaster, and it falls down, and it fucking kills this guy. And that's, if you go back through everything before this, there's no point in time where Bert has ever, like, even unwillingly caused someone's death like that. like, oh no, I fucked up, and you're dead. Lots of people have fucked up around him, and he's always sad about it. And this is what I hate, like, about these 5 to 7. Like, don't make death funny, man. Like, sometimes you die in a funny way, but, like, it shouldn't be funny. And, like, to move on from that entirely, like, oh yeah, Bert doesn't care. Like, the South African guy said something, yeah, you killed Drea. You're like, and Bert doesn't have any qualms with that. The guy that Michael Gross has continued to say won't point a gun at another human being because he knows that they're not the real enemy, has nothing to say about the first time he killed somebody. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? That is insane. And then they just to jump on from that, like, oh man, what if Michael Gross got to, after all this time, I ended up killing one of my own. I never thought it was worth it. Son of a bitch. I finally feel bad about my actions. Maybe I should stop doing this and go live on an island for an actual sensible reason, not because of fucking plumbing, which I obviously already had to have had, because it's not like Reba would have been into, like, shitting in an outhouse. And yeah, maybe you can have a septic. Like, I don't get the plumbing thing, because he's already out there in the middle of fucking nowhere. He already had a plumbing setup. It already had to have happened. It doesn't. And oh yeah, look, I don't even have to say it, because it's just like, oh yeah, this guy is obviously evil. Oh yeah, in the original script, way to go, way to steal again, Universal. But I do love the. I don't know if this is a good joke. I do laugh at it, but it's the kill me, shoot me, but you won't cage me. Shoot me, kill me, but you won't cage me. Smash cut 2. Ain't over till I fucking die, and then I don't know, because I don't think I can die. I think my spirit would come back. You understand? And this, yeah. And, you could have maybe spent some time here where Bert's not making jokes, but like, I killed him, man. Like, he's maybe, like, there's a falcon that comes down. I killed him, man. First man I ever killed. Really got me in the old Bertsicles. And instead we got Michael Gross rubbing urine on himself again. So we got this. So we've had a guy shitting. We've had the piss running down his legs. There was another one. What was that other piss? No, come on. There was one more. If you're listening, you know what I'm talking about. And now, like, not one, but 2 instances where, it's Travis pissing. Yeah. The guy shitting, the guy pissing his pants, Travis pissing, and then what's happening here. And, and Bert not, like, missing Heather, and to some extent Bert missed Heather so much. If you watch the TV show, you know this, and I know they watched the TV show to make this. Bert missed Heather so much that the fucking code to his house was Heather. What the fuck, man? And he to some extent misses her. I don't believe you, like, at all. Like, not even a little bit. Like, no. That guy has got a crush on Reba till his dying fucking day. Because all of us have a crush on Reba till our dying fucking day. She's dope. It's not dumb. But to, like, oh yeah, that one line is like, oh man. And Michael Gross talks about how he loved what Steve and Brent and the Stampede people in general would do, where there's a level of collaboration where you can come up and you say, hey man, I've got an idea for something, let's do it. And, some of the time, yeah, that works. Let's, like, work it in. But then also, oh, no, that takes it too far. Let's not. No. That's, from an objective perspective, this lion pissing on you while you say that you no longer, like, you kind of maybe care about Reba is, Michael, absolutely, it's a dumb idea. I don't mean to be like that, but it is. It's bad, man. I, yeah. And then, I will crawl my way down your gullet. Is that foreshadowing? No, because I doubt any writer that was on this one also wrote the seventh one, and I don't see Don Michael Paul actually having that forethought. Like, no way. The way Bert goes down a graboid's belly, last resort. You will, like, stab people. Or not, like, he would have pushed Jimmy out of the way and kept rolling with him. There's not a chance in hell he would have let that graboid eat him. Ah, man. And yeah, like, so then knowing too that this doesn't even happen, or like, there's all these different scenes that get switched around because what they originally had in the script was mini G's, and they lose all of it, all of the really cool action, the jumping back and forth, the distracting them. So I keep thinking of that while I'm watching this, while in these ridiculous, like, oh, action-y scene, blah. You know, we may not be using, like, practical monster effects, but we're gonna fucking film the shit out of stunts. And stunts are awesome, man, but, like, hey, like, what the, where's the money going on this? What are we thinking? What are we doing? Why are we doing it? And to humiliate Michael Gross like that, in a sense, where it's like, maybe he's on board. I talk about it in the Kevin Bacon one, where it's like, maybe the actor's on board for that humiliation, but there's got to be some kind of, like, character sense to it, like, to build up to something and make it happen, you know, tear a person down to actually give them something. But all we really get here is the, oh yeah, Jamie Kennedy's your son, and he doesn't even really deal with it in any sense. He just kind of accepts him. Which, maybe that's something I kind of halfway talk about later. But yeah, Michael Gross just, oh, this is how we treat the guy who's been carrying your franchise, and is now carrying your franchise because you kicked off the other people who were carrying your franchise. Anger. Oh, man. Yeah, and thank you, Jamie Kennedy, for bringing a shirt for Michael Gross. It's much appreciated because he deserves better. Damn it, man. Just damn it, man. Do you smell gas? And yeah, I smell ass. I smell fucking ass, man. Yeah, I'm hitting everything. There's so much. I don't even. What's the? Okay. Bert, talking about him in that sense of, like, giving him some character or something. It's a strange attraction, a man who wants a monster, and there's no sense of the movie actually trying to say to Bert that he needs to slow down. Like, if you're gonna say that and get that thematic thing going where you're passing the torch to Jamie Kennedy, like, fuck, man, Bert's doing all the legwork, and it doesn't really look like he's slowing down. He's making y'all look like chumps, and it's bad. Come on, like, if you just make it all of them look bad, it's kind of shitty. Like, nobody's really bringing much to the table. But maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm, again, not giving that much credit, because I just don't like Black Laura Croft copy-paste thing. You know what? That's not true. I liked it this first time. Before Shrieker Island happened, that somehow was fine with me. And it still kind of is for that reason. It's like, okay, she is out here. She just gave her biggest gun to Bert, so she's got a bow and arrow. That's what she's got. She's doing what she can with what she got. But that other lady in Tremors 7, like, she brought a bow and arrow to a hunt for graboids, something that is in the ground, man. What in the fuck? And Bert with his little cock pistol, like, I honestly don't believe he would have that out or be using it. Like, he knows it's not going to do shit. feel like he would have happily given that to Travis. Like, here's the little cock piece. Give me that HK-91. Because you don't know how to shoot for shit. It's not like Jamie Kennedy actually uses a gun properly during all of this. No, that's he does shoot some tentacles later. Man, yeah. My brain will go to like, oh yeah, this is that mining town that's in the other script. That they're clearly referencing and stuff. And so we've got graboids and shit in the area. We know all about that. Why do we got animals walking around in the background? Girl, also you're out and you know that like there's ass blasters and shit. Why? What are you going out to try to like do anything about? Like maybe that's what's wrong. Shit, man, you should have just stayed here. What the fuck are you doing? It's not like she's going to a truck. They're going to the truck. Follow them to the truck and provide backup. Oh, here's it, and this one drives me wild because it's the exact same thing that happens in the original Tremors 5, but they replaced these mini tentacles. They replaced the mini graboids with fucking tentacles that detach, which, as we all know, like your tongue comes out of your body, right? Like that's you know, there's a whole fish that fucking will like go inside of your tongue and replace it, rather than your tongue exiting your body. Because then it's just going to eat on its own. Why would your tongue want to come back? If it's already eating and grabbing, what is the evolutionary advantage of... And you can clearly tell that, like... Oh, yeah, if you CGI'd that around it and shit, what's actually happening is those were supposed to be mini graboids. And... If they didn't really, like, because a graboid doesn't beat up a truck, a graboid pulls it down. A graboid grabs something and pulls it into the ground, as it clearly demonstrates by leaping out of the fucking ground and just burrowing into something and eating this guy. Like, yeah, so many, oh yeah, that's from another movie. Speaking of which, have you seen Jurassic Park? Have you fucking seen it? Did you know that there was a movie called Jurassic Park? Had you any idea about this? Maybe not. Maybe life did not find a way for you. Well, welcome to Stampede Tremors. Like, what in the fuck, man? What is... Like, this is just the kitchen raptor scene. This is all it is. This is just... They took what they thought was the best bits of the kitchen raptor scene from Jurassic Park and just recreated them. And we're like, hey, did you know that there are other movies out there made by Universal? Which almost makes it worse. Where you're like, oh my God, Pacific Rim is owned by Universal too. Oh, and Jurassic Park is owned by Universal. Oh my God, what other... I try to remember them and catch them. But that's... Oh my God. They're Riddick. Riddick is owned by Universal. Oh my God. Holy shit. I'm onto something. They're only homaging Universal movies and then really fucking driving it home. Oh man. I just listened to a podcast with S.S. Wilson where he talked about when you give Universal the rights, they own it. Universal owns all rights in regard herein throughout perpetuity, throughout the universe. Like, it actually was like, that's not a paraphrase, that is the quote. That's what it says. It's nuts. So, oh yeah, Universal clearly is wanting you to remember to buy Jurassic Park and Pacific Rim and the Chronicles of Riddick. Make sure you get those on whatever the fuck we're shilling to you today. And more balls references too here with the, oh yeah, my boys are good. I have to specifically grab my testicles and do that. Even though the only real, like, okay, we do have two sexual reference, three. Maybe I don't. Maybe there's more sexiness in Tremors than I realized, because there's the pants thing. Then there's Tremors 2 with the butts, and then Rosalita's wet t-shirt thing, whatever that is in the TV show. And yeah, this guy right here, he dies exactly like he does in in Gummer Down Under. fucking insane. These these tentacles should be mini G's. I keep mixing it up because it's so clear to me what's supposed to be happening. Like, there's even, like, Bert takes expert shots with the rifle. Like, he specifically has that rifle. Like, he has no guns just so he can take really good shots with the tiny little ones because they're jumping in and out of the ground. And I hate that they didn't use the mini G's because there's a great, like, scary. Like, if they wanted to be scary, you could have been scary with Bert has his seismo and he's hooked up to the seismo grid, and he can't track the mini G's. They don't register on anything. Like, they don't vibrate enough. So no, like, he can't actually track them. So it's like, shit, man, that's actually scary. So he's like out of his element. He's unprepared as always. When he thinks that they're gonna fly, they end up going back into the ground again. And when they go back into the ground again, they end up walking. Like, it's this whole cycle. And instead we got, there's a snake. It can crawl over the dirt, even though the graboids can literally jump over the ground, so it's not like they can worry about rocks anyway, so there's no evolutionary advantage for a snake to be able to crawl out of its mouth and do that. And yeah, Bert's taking great shots here. Like, there's some micro gross, but then yeah. Oh yeah. Why is it the critical freaking bastard has gone free range? Like, there's some where you can tell, hey, Michael, thank you. And that's even, maybe I accept that one more than the hanger one. Why is it the critical need-to-know information never gets to Bert Gummer? Like, he's like, okay, like, you're referencing how much you say that. That's fine. Okay. But that, look at the wrong goddamn rock hanger, didn't you? Fuck off. Oh yeah, and they can jump out of the ground, man. It's the over scary where it's like, this is an entirely different creature now. And I don't mean evolved, or it's just like, okay, what is this thing? It's kind of why I want to see the rest of the Andrew Miller pilot to really know how those graboids would have been doing what they're doing. If you're gonna evolve something and not change it, or use it in a different way. What could it be? And every time they're on these rocks, again, think about Tremors 5 Gummer Down Under. So much rock sitting back and forth, like, way to reference the first movie. And that Travis has to ask these, why were they zeroing into the net? Bert, you're not asking yourself these questions. Bert, the king of, like, question asking and questioning fucking everything, wasn't wondering, like, why this wasn't happening. Man, that guy's a sleuth. He's almost Batman when it comes to fucking, like, making sure he knows something. Like, no way. And maybe, and again, to the movie's credit, maybe it's, hey, you're suffering a mild case of heat exhaustion and a major case of getting too old for this shit. It's like, okay, maybe. Are you trying to pass the torch? All right, let's do this movie. If you're going to do it, fucking do it. Nope, we're not going to do it. Never mind, fuck you. We're going to back out of that at the last minute and leave you hanging. Why is the meter on my bullshit detector still in the red? Because nobody knew how to properly foreshadow things. And instead, they just had to shove it in your face. Do you know what bloodlines are? Do you know? It's not just something that happens when you have a really bad poop. Boo. Oh, man. Yeah. And, Bert trading out. And I do, as much as whatever Jamie Kennedy is, I can tell that he's always trying, like, with these scripts. I've listened to the interviews, he sounds so fucking high. Like, he doesn't really seem like he knew much of what's going on. He actually specifically says he didn't watch any of the Tremors movies before he did this. Besides, he watched the first one, but he didn't watch any other Tremors movies, and that was it. It's like, okay, so you're gonna play a guy who's a son who, like, you've literally been following around, man, the myth, the legend. You're coming in, like, almost stalking him, Larry style, and you didn't feel like, hey, we should watch the rest of the movies. But I don't know, Jamie Kennedy's doing, and maybe he was told not to, too. I always go to that. But yeah, Jamie Kennedy tries. Does Jamie Kennedy succeed? I don't know. Jamie Kennedy is in the eye of the beholder. But also, because then let's reference straight up. Let's just do some Pitch Black. Are you afraid of the ass blaster? You better not be. I'm trying to do a Riddick voice. You know, I've seen graboids, and I've seen those things that can see you in the dark. No, they're not shriekers. Watch out. And to have showing the cave paintings again. This reminds me. The fucking Tremors 5 people actually desecrated an actual, historical site filming this scene. Legit. They show, there's some bones and shit on the ground and stuff where you're just okay, some of those might be, the props and crew and stuff, but did you guys find some stuff? And you just filmed it and we're nobody will notice. We're going to move on. Haha, bye-bye. Hold on there. But yeah, no, I'll have to get the Tremor Saga people to put that up. There's a fucking article about that. They desecrated a whole historical site to make a movie. The people who are known, the Tremors movies known for being the most courteous, kind, caring people that there is. Oh yeah, fuck that legacy. Eat some shit. We don't care because we're making money off of your property. So what are you gonna do, huh? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? We're gonna do something. I don't know what. But we're gonna take back these movies. There's so many good ideas to do it. I fucking love all of them. Like anything but this. Anything but this fucking cocaine-fueled insanity is. And you know what? I keep bringing that up. I'm not high or anything, folks. I am completely straight, and this is infuriating. This anger and everything from this. I am drinking some water, and I got some coffee, and I had a ginger ale. Ugh, that is it. Maybe I'll smoke a bowl later. Boom. This fucking angers me so much. I don't need to take anything to fucking get me up to that point. And I drink the coffee because I've got ADHD and it helps mellow just that little bit. You know how that amphetamines in your brain do that? Fucking thankfully. Because this is infuriating, man. Riddick and Die Hard. Is Die Hard a Universal movie? Hey, let's go to Deep Dark Africa. And I'm Jamie Kennedy McClane. Jamie McClane. Oh, yeah, there's all these graboids and shit. And, Stampede didn't make it abundantly clear that, a graboid or an ass blaster, has a grand total of one egg that it lays and then dies. But no, there's a whole nest of them. And a grand total of one ass blaster, man. That's all it is, dude. I'm gonna fight you with a flare. Oh, boom booms. And here, you're walking by all those bones and rocks and shit, and you got nothing, and you're just I'm gonna just walk through with a flare. You didn't think to grab anything? You were hey, maybe I'm gonna need something in case, there's a monster in this cave where I'm going to see if there's monsters in the cave. I get repetitive with this shit, but that is what is happening. I gotta go see. I better grab something in case there's a monster in this cave while I go to see if there's a monster in this cave. Oh, man. Man, oh, manatee. And blew them all up. No, he didn't blow them all up. I mean, why did he go in there? I mean, they already knew that it was fucked up. Now that I'm really thinking about it, what, narrative sense did it make for him to go in there? When they knew something was happening and they could hear noises and shit. What, you just try to blow it up. That's it. You should just walked in there, got as far as you needed to, and just blew a phosphorus thing. Boom. The fact that Jamie didn't see those eggs and just go, click, boom. And hey, look! Our Deus Ex Machina has arrived! I mean, technically it's not, because he called for him. We set it up. but it's cheap. And, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Maybe I'm being overly critical. Because I know it can be better. Or know what it was there is. Fucking... Yeah. And they land, and again, this is the whole, like, so nobody is thinking that we know of graboids and shit. It works in the original script when they have this happen, because it's like some guys from the actual government, like, oh, hey, we're coming in. They don't know what's fully happening. These guys are here, like, they know about graboids, like, talking about them, like, Bert has a camera, like, the guy's, it's a strange attraction, man wants a monster. Yeah, did you not pay attention? So you should be aware that there's monsters, bro. I didn't think of it? Oh yeah, we're just gonna land here. Should I come home? Is there any other way? Well, I didn't come home at all because I didn't think that you were right or telling me the truth. All I got is a nice shiny hat to remind you of Jurassic Park. Oh, man. Yeah, and then the tentacles just take away. And it's great, too, in the, like, if you imagine the mini-Gs just hitting this thing instead as it comes down. Rather than somehow this graboid jumps up and just, kind of peeks itself in. Hey there, I'm gonna grab you and I'm gonna eat you. Nimmies. Nimmies. At least when it happened with Tacopa and that graboid came after him with the statue and then ate him instead. Like, the statue stopped him before he went any further in that little bitty corner, little bit of space. Like, this is like, no, he just, I'm gonna reach in and get you. It would have been cool if, like, the graboid flew through the fucking helicopter. Like, we're already spending money on all this fucking crazy ass shit. Like, let's just blow it, like, fuck with the helicopter. Also, I am pretty sure that this shot here that they use when the graboid is shooting up to grab the guy is the same shot that they will later use when the graboid is jumping to grab the car that they light on fire, because that so makes sense. And yeah, it went under him and around instead. Like, what was the point of that? It was already coming at you. It knows it has the advantage. It's not really fucking worried, man. It's not. Like, it's a graboid. Yeah, that is like the same shot. They just took that one has tentacles. The other one does not have tentacles. Just a double. Did you see the two blood spattered sprays on the window? This is a bag of dicks. It fucking is, man. It's a fucking whole ass bag of dicks. And here, that Tremors 5 Gummer Down Under, they end up using this, but it's, the whole thing's like broken shit. So you guys, like, there's a helicopter over there, and you weren't like, hey, maybe we should use it to fly away. Oh no, it's a completely working helicopter. Like, okay, maybe, and I mean, maybe, like, there's we don't want to fly a helicopter because it's scary and shit. Bert Gummer would have fucking tried, man. Are you fucking kidding me? Bert Gummer would have been like, I learned how to, I read it in a magazine once. When the sun rises in Africa, you better be on your helicopter pilot training. You better step on it, little bitch. Well, consider me referencing the first movie. Oh, and hey, like, that, like, thing where, like, there's a bunch of animals and they do something, like, when they're all running fast, and I don't know what it's called, like, but, like, what do you call that? When there's a whole group of animals, like, how many cows are required? Is there a minimum speed? No, I don't know. What are these animals doing here? There's no Stampede in this. What? There's no Stampede Entertainment. How can there be these? Oh, they're stampeding. Oh, I have to make jokes because I'm so angry that you're clearly referencing the people that you kicked out of the movie. Like, you can't tell if you're on the podcast, but I'm staring at the camera all the time. because I would rather stare at myself than look at this. Man, they do. That's a complete reference to Stampede there. That's just, yeah, fuck you. And, okay, there's a no smoking sign on the helicopter. Yo, bro, I doubt that. The bush pilot guy would have fucking marked that shit out ages ago. Boo. Bad set design. I'm just kidding. Honestly, people try their hardest in this. Look at all the makeup and shit that's happening. Those guys look like they've been through hell. That's where I hate to, like, poo-poo on these movies, because I can tell that a lot of people put a lot of effort into it, but it definitely wasn't the people in charge. And yeah, like, if you're going to blow them up with a rocket launcher anyway, why did they even need to go... why did you even need to go into the cave? Like, Bert already established, oh yeah, like, ass blaster eggs, they're around here, there's a nest. Yeah, okay, let's do this. And, you know, like, they make a point of it in the movies, the fourth movie especially, where you need a hot condition in order for graboids to hatch. And there's a thing in the fifth, in Gummer Down Under, where it's hot, dry rocks that do it. There's a, not necessarily a spring, but a hot area that allows it to happen. And, oh no, they're just in a cave. They're in a really cool, cold, dark cave, where there's no sunlight or hot or water or anything, and they somehow managed to hatch. And you know what? If Bert Gummer got that infectious disease from being in a graboid, and, oh yeah, we took that venom to make sure that Michael Gross didn't die. I'm talking about the sixth movie. Oh, we took that venom out of that graboid to make sure Michael Gross didn't die, and then we blew up the graboid because we don't need it anymore. Oh, did anyone maybe think that we should make a couple vials of that antidote? Because there's maybe one guy that's going to have some graboid super cancer later on here. That guy got swallowed, yo. He going to get fucked up. It might be whatever dumb time span they put it on, but he going to die. And they didn't do anything because they're like, oh, we didn't think about that. Oh, we didn't think about, like, oh, that actually tons of people get covered in graboid viscera, like, all of the time in our movies and TV shows, especially this one here at the end, or the one that we referenced that you can get graboid viscera on you and then you get a disease. Oh, whatever, we're fine. Like, what is Travis gonna do? Travis is covered in that shit. Like, what's he gonna do at the end of 6? Oh, sorry, Travis, we didn't have enough. We didn't have enough fucking antidote for you. We just had to save Michael Gross, and that's why you died. You're not actually in a Mexican jail. You fucking died from graboid cancer because we weren't smart enough to think of that. Also, you've had a Jeep here this whole time, and none of you thought to go in it? Like, you went to the mining, like, where they really drive, like, maybe they were, like, why did you drive away? What were you driving to? I'm so fucking confused about the geography of this place, man. Oh no, this graboid's coming, man. That was a Jamaican accent. Oops. And so that graboid just rammed into what we have established in the movies. When a graboid runs into concrete, it dies. We have 2 whole examples of that, where first movie, third movie, graboid into concrete, and that's just a fucking that thick barrier. Like, that's that much, you know, really, like maybe 3 feet. We'll call it that. That they have a slab. There's a fucking slab that thing is trying to jump or smash into. Just a fucking block. And it's fine. And maybe, like, the super graboids, and like, maybe there's an argument to be made for that, but also, like, I mean, if you're gonna, you just ignored everything you've already done while also saying, look at everything we've already done. And here, so it's on fire. Why did you need to shoot it with a flaming arrow? What was the? Yep, that is the same shot without the tentacles. That is totally the same shot. Why did she need to shoot it with the flaming arrow if the truck was on fire already? Why? I don't usually watch movies like when they're this close. I try to sit a little farther back there. So, like, there's so much where you're just like, what were you doing physically here that made any sense? And here's the one great thing I love about this movie. The spit handshake. Oh, and here's a great big-ass gun. It's not as big as the minigun that you were going to have in the original, but you know what? Here, take this. And I'll see you, boot. Yeah, that's called story. This is a character arc. Yes, I know. I used to have a couple of character arcs before they decided to butcher my whole character in general. It's pretty shitty. This is what I get for thinking, oh no, I can maybe try to keep some semblance of things. Nope, they decided to give me a kid. I'm Bert Gummer. You know, I literally moved out to the desert to not have children and chose to not have children with Reba, and it was probably a major contention point between us when everything with World War III didn't happen, and she probably wanted kids, and I didn't. You know, oh yeah, I totally had a son that I didn't know about. Yeah, because I definitely didn't keep track of my sexual partners because I'm not that kind of person. I'm not meticulous. No, that's ridiculous. I'm not meticulous. Oh, no, that's ridiculous. But seriously, no, like, there is a sense Bert and Heather were child-free. Like, that's, like, part of what they were doing with their prepper thing, because they thought the end of the world was going to happen, and they didn't want to bring children into the end of the world. Like, I totally feel that. I personally would love to have kids. Don't do it for the same reason. And so then for Bert to, like, then learn, oh yeah, you have a son that's not, like, that's also fully grown, would just be like, okay, he would have been taking this a hell of a lot more than just, like, popping one-liners and just giving, like, angry looks. And even later on with that, like, that lady, I wish that movie had just gotten rid of, the seventh movie had gotten rid of John Heder and just focused on Bert and Jazz's relationship and exploring whatever they wanted to do with this. Because this, yeah, Bert, you need more than exasperation. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what? My entire life is a fucking lie, man. I've got offspring. I thought everybody was gonna die. I thought we were fucked. I thought we were toasted in the bumhole. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. He just said it as I said it. Look at that. That's beautiful. But, yeah. It's insane that that was the route to go when they had it in the script. That, oh no, it's actually just some kid, and the idea of Bert passing the torch to different people all throughout the world, rather than just a single solo person. Because Bert's fucking, if you're gonna make him the man, the myth, and the legend, that's what you're doing as that status, you know. And maybe there's a world where that could have worked too with Travis is Bert's son, but it doesn't really work with what they end up writing and portraying in this. And then later on, and then not in Tremors 7, you know. Here, I'm going to pause this little bit for a second and save that there. So if you're watching podcast for a second, take the pause so I can save the recording. And we'll do another one, and we're back. All right. So press play again. Yeah, all right. My timer on my recorder is only an hour and a half for my one, so I always got to make sure I have enough time to finish it up. Yeah. So if you're watching the video, you get more out of it. Really, I want this movie to end. I don't want to do this commentary so much. But it's really necessary in order to get to the rest of the ones where we actually start having some fun and doing something interesting besides just hating on shitty movies. Because shitty movies don't need us to hate on them any more than they already seem to hate on themselves. There's Decker Shadow talks about, like, it seems like this is a Tremors movie that's trying everything it can to not be a Tremors movie. Which is, ow, that empty box, that Tremors on an empty box thing comes back to my brain. And damn, man, just like, if you didn't want to make a Tremors movie, make another movie. You know, don't just take from people that are, like, clearly know what they're doing and are better at it. Like just make your own fucking movie. Make Jurassic World. Why does it always got to be bigger? And I hate this too, where you trip on nostalgia bait and messing with us and stuff, and that's where they did that by killing off Bert Gummer at the end of the 7th movie, to fucking that Jurassic Park trailer makes me think of that, to say, oh yeah, remember those things that we did? You know, like, unless you've got a legitimate story reason for for it to be there, it gets really trite and like, oh, you just want some money out of us. Thanks. Like, make your own movie. Make what you're doing. Or if you're going to make this movie, like, at least know what the hell it came before. Like, everybody, like, that always frustrates me. Like, oh yeah, we made a reboot of the movie, but we told everybody not to watch all these other movies in it. It's like, yo man, none of us, nobody can know like what you're doing unless you do that. Like, there's a few things that works for. One, the Doctor. Like, that's it. Like, you can maybe get away with that. Like, I love Chris Chibnall has other fuck ups, but I do like Jodie Whittaker not being, hey, and Matt Smith too, where it's like, hey, don't watch too much Doctor Who when you first start. Like, when we first start doing this, let's just, like, you don't watch it, do your own thing, create something new, and then after that, watch them and stuff, and go back so you can understand more of what you're doing, and fill out the character, and you get great character arcs over that, because the actor and the character are learning in real time, and you get to see that progression. It's really awesome. Especially if you have someone who's not a super fan who doesn't completely know, which you got that David Tennant, Peter Capaldi, like, they know everything. The different Doctors, you know, like, you don't bring it in and do different stuff. Like, for Jamie Kennedy to be coming in and be like, oh yeah, you know, my character knows everything about Bert, but I haven't seen any of the movies, is fucking nuts. Just nuts. And this girl, like she didn't notice that she had a graboid egg. Like, that's, like, and again, there's that Jurassic Park 3 thing. Like, oh yeah, she took the graboid egg. And she's not Billy. And I'm like, I like Jurassic Park 3. Hate on me, folks. I have my reasons for it. I would love to watch it for this. Joe Dante, winner on that one. And just taking from other movies and reminding us of what's happening. That's why I appreciate the dirt bike thing. I really do. And that handshake spitty thing, where it's, maybe we've seen this in other movies and shit. And if you can notice, there is a practical effect here, where the graboid does grab on to the dirt bike. Like, the graboid tentacle is physically latched onto the dirt bike. One of the few practical monster effects in the movie. But this dirt bike thing I really appreciate, because it's, oh, you're doing something new. You're trying to story it up, make a reason for something. Like, it was the one thing somebody was thinking about. Oh my god, everything just fell out of that bag. There is no way she caught any of that. Holy shit. Ah, there it is, the one practical puppet. That was it, just like hanging on the dirt bike a little bit. And like it's everything. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking everything just fell out of that bag. That graboid egg is smashed now. Like, just like, oh, I missed it. And hey, Bert's seismic monitor wasn't really going off there. What was that? There's a graboid coming. And hold on, like, you didn't, like, come up with a plan? You've been, like, just sitting there, like, watching everything happen, and you didn't say, hey, I've got a whole plan that I've had probably for the last, like, 45 minutes, but I didn't bother telling you because it didn't seem like it was important. And yeah, you know, that foreshadowing, you remember? It might be exposition, but it also might just be a facial tic. Ah. Oh, man. And, yeah. Graboids in the Arctic. What else could we get? Oh, wait, no, this isn't Tremors 6. Oh, wait, but it's still filmed in South Africa. What? Ooh. And how, okay, I have this problem, too, with these later movies, where they don't keep full track. Or at least, they didn't have an actual idea of how many graboid shriekers and ass blasters there were. Because they all have this, like, oh, yeah, that's just the last one. I mean, we don't really know for sure, but, I mean, they've been around all this time, and we have complete culture and everything about them, but, yeah, that's probably the last one. We don't gotta don't worry about any extra security measures and shit. Like, you're literally putting the graboid egg on a statue that looks like a graboid, and there's nothing from the character where she's like, oh, all those things I was taught as a little girl, they are all true. All of the graboids, the akuru, they are real. No, I was wrong to deny you, Jamie Kennedy. I mean, fuck you. I don't even want to improvise like her liking Jamie Kennedy because it's just so awful. I appreciate that the other guy gets her, gets her, like as if people are prizes to be won. That's always, infuriating. Yeah. I'm just thinking we're so close to the end of this. I am so happy that this movie is over, and I hopefully never have to watch it again. For this, at least for a while, I cannot think about it. Did you know this movie was made in South Africa? I am still not fully convinced that they don't blow shit up in these areas because someone's actually building a pipeline that we don't know about. Because that's what that effect is for in real life. So it's always like, huh, what? Okay. That's fine. And here's another, like, the graboid was chasing Jamie Kennedy on a dirt bike. All right. Maybe, okay. And it's electrified. It's coming out of, remember the worms from Godzilla? Oh, I hate Matthew Broderick because he's a murderer. And, I mean, I'll buy that the graboid, like the lightning blew up the egg. I mean, because an egg's small, but the lightning blew up a graboid? I mean, and, okay, maybe I don't know much about electricity, but it feels like it was still connected to the ground, and they all don't exactly look like, okay, we got one person on a vehicle, but those other people aren't on vehicles. They're standing on a metal shed. That's a tin roof over there, folks, that we just decided to stand on while there was going to be a lightning storm. The fuck? Like, I'm just looking at that. Hey, yeah, I acknowledge you. That's my journey. Acknowledgement. Which isn't, I mean, it really, seeing all the other great character stuff in the other movies, oh man, yeah, that's piss poor. And, come on, Bert. No, man. So many conflicting ideals here. And, okay, so, here's another great thing movie. Alright, so, graboids have the cancer disease that you get when you get all covered in them. So why are we eating them? Oh man, live ones smell worse than the dead ones. Do you really think an animal that smells like shit more when it's alive than when it's dead is gonna taste good? Or and in that sense is edible? Do you think you should eat that at all? Oh man. Yeah. Boo. Boo. And what's Bert like sitting around here now? He's got no real purpose. They do that in the Gummer Down Underscript. There's a girl. Bert actually was more going for her than the other guy, which kind of works too. Like, okay, cool. Bert finally met somebody like that. Finally. So that's, yeah, but you don't have this. Like, why is he hanging around? Why is he just, like, loading a pistol? Like, it makes him look crazier than Bert really is. I don't, like, he's emotionally detached. I'll give you that. But, like, come on. Be better. Yeah. Hey, you said you were going to rebuild me. You said you were going to rebuild the Gummer brand. You said you're going to fix me. Beetle Bear, Kevin says this too. This is definitely, I would agree with you, the line that really sums up what should be happening in here. You don't need fixing bops. Like, he doesn't. Bert Gummer's pretty good, man. Like, he's got his problems. We all got our problems. Like, to really go and like, oh, we need to fix this character. Come on, man. Like, what you need to fix is maybe his relationship problems, like with women and shit like that. And, I don't understand women. They got all these movements. They always want to talk about things. Oh yeah, talking. That's hard. Like, yeah, okay, that's what we focus on. We don't need him worrying about having a son, because it's too much. It's too much. It's the Survivalist with Bert Gummer, Travis B. Welker. So then he did this, Universal. This was your plan. And then, so if Tremors 5 did well enough that you ended up making Tremors 6 and 7, and in between those, you chose to give the rights to Kevin Bacon to do more, why didn't you just keep going with this? I said it at the beginning where it's like, this would have been much cooler to see the actual film of what happened during the whole movie, because Travis had set up all of these fucking cameras. There was one shot. Where was that shot? Where he set up all of these cameras, and not a one of them is used for any kind of, like, framing device for what we're watching here. Oh, yeah, we could have made it so that, like, oh, we imagine that this movie is being shot in that sense. Or, try something new. Different. Like, if you're doing that, if you're fucking doing it, and then you're having this end credit scene where, wherever things are, I'm going to be there to, like, totally hit on girls. God damn it, Travis, how many times have I told you? We only hit on the monsters. Yeah, Bert. Well, you know what? Sasquatch is kind of hairy for my taste. Well, you know what? He tastes just fine to me. Fuck. But no, we're not going to do that, because that's apparently a bad idea.
Yeah. Sure, it was a good enough idea for them to take it from the TV show, but it's not a good enough idea to fucking continue to use.
Oh, thank God the credits are rolling. Everybody, always sit through the credits. That's where I keep trying to be nice to the people that made this movie. All 1,000 people behind the scenes of this movie. Everybody deserves credits. You should always sit through the credits of every movie that you watch. I don't give a shit if there's a post-credit scene at the end. Sit your ass down and look at all those names and ask yourself just how much it fucking takes to make a movie like this, and why would you decide to go to South Africa twice and film like you're in Canada and fucking spend extra money when you don't need to? But you know what I mean? Like, look at how much it takes. Look at Warren Squirrel Elric, or Vicky Brooker, or Denton Infield, ALC on-set supervisor, animal wrangler, cast drivers, more drivers. There's so much involved, man. And always make sure you feed your film crew. That is number one. Feed people. I know it's insane. You're like, oh, I didn't necessarily come here for filmmaking tips, but that is rule number one. You feed people on your set. And you feed them well. Because look at all them names. They all need to eat. Everybody's hungry. Shamadada. Give them their due. Sit your ass down and watch the credits. It's so worth it. Ah, yeah, man. Well, I mean, I think I hit everything. I was going to, move on and be done. But I really think I did hit everything. Oh my God, I did. Okay, fucking shit, man. I still will go back to, I can't believe Bert fucking killed somebody and didn't even. Oh, I can't wait to get into the next one after this, where we do Tremors 5, Gummer Down Under. Alrighty, man. Whew. This is actually, I always like doing this part. This is my favorite, because I love everybody that helps make these, makes everything happen. Like I said, I was talking about credits. This is a good time to roll credits. I'm going to thank some people for putting together the Talking Tremors podcast. Thank you, the Tremors Saga people. I love them, man. I got to start from the top. I can't believe, if you're listening, I love you. These are all, I try to do my best impression of you. You're the swellest kind of guy there is. You're the Mr. Rogers of cinema to me. And yeah, you really are. I try to tell people that all the time. But thank you, Steve S.S. Wilson, and thank you, Bob and Michelle Wilson, for keep pushing Steve. Bob turned 100 this year. I can't believe that. I can't believe he had all those films that he went and like did that for his kid. My dad loves me that much too. I know he'll be there on set for me the first day. Same camera, like he'll probably be with his phone, but same fucking thing. And thank you, Michelle, for always pushing Steve. Like I said, I love you too. You're so cute to me. Thank you to Kevin Collins at Beetlebear on Twitter. Just a great, phenomenal person. One of the few other people out there that knows how to use hashtags properly. It's Stampede Tremors or hashtag Talking Tremors, hashtag both times. Because you're stampeding Tremors while you're talking Tremors. It, go hand in hand. And then use all the other ones too. Stamp Meme, Wormverse, We Are Perfection, Tremors Belongs in the Library of Congress. Yeah, all great. Keep using your hashtags. It is how you connect other people because they will click that and be like, oh my God, there's all this history. There's all of this stuff that I was missing. Oh shit, let me check that out more. That's why I do that. Don't watch Tremors 7. Don't watch hashtag Tremors 7 because everybody that Universal made that hashtag. So it's like you click that. Boom. Kevin Smith and Harley Smith, I love you too. Oh, thank you so much. You two are cute and adorable. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to give you my all for all these so you guys know what's happening. Not what's happening, but you just make me. Jeff Johnson, thank you for the shout outs too on your Sons and Shadows podcast. Thank you, the Sons and Shadows podcast. If you didn't listen, they have a new episode out with Steve S.S. Wilson, one of the most recent interviews with him. You should go check it out. He really just breaks it all down. He's so informal and fun and just a kind, caring, loving dude. Thank you to the Anthony Has Issues podcast. Great dude that I know from Facebook that's really grown into his own, has an amazing podcast of 75 episodes. Check that one out. Thank you to Glenn Maddock for putting a lot of this together. You're always there, man. There's so much. We just thank you, Glenn. And also thank you to Nancy, Ron, and Brent. And I gotta say thank you to Nancy Roberts, Ron Underwood, and Brent Maddock. Holy shit, you guys, for getting all of this started and making it happen. Forever love. And Brent, you need to get angry more. Please and thank you. We all want to hear it. Fucking lay that shit down, man. There's no interviews of you, man. I need some more interviews to listen to you. Just be angry at this whole system. Be angry with me. And a great one. John, if you're listening, Jonathan Melville out there. I did that. I really love listening. I love listening to you. You're absolutely fantastic. Just the whole everything. And I thank you, man. Holy shit. Thank you for putting the Tremors Guide together. If you're listening to this in any format, you need to go buy Seeking Perfection, the official Tremors Guide. Oh, there's my cat. Hey, dude. The official Tremors Guide. It is legit. Holy shit. Oliver at Grindhouse Chic, thank you for always listening and chiming in with your suggestions and questions. Great group of people on Twitter that I can see have been helping out the Tremors saga more and more. Thank you to Bob Rushy and Alicia Pearson and Ashy Slashy and Metal Rican. Your guys' ideas and thoughts and contribution, everything flows and you make Stampede Tremors happen. Thank you, Rattlestyle Rattlecat, for being one of the first people to believe in what we're doing here. I'm always thinking about what you got to say on these, so just keep feeding me, man. And Decker Shadow and Allison Pregler, two people that do great reviews of the Tremors movies on YouTube. I watch everyone. I watch their reviews of each movie before I start one of these, so I have an objective idea of where to really hit things to make that point known. Zoran Gavojic, bros. If you're not watching the kill counts on the Dead Meat channel, you're doing something wrong. It is fucking hilarious. It's informative. It's just great and human. If you love anything, you're going to love the Tremors kill counts from Zoran Gavojic. Anything from him. He's just a fucking hilarious person. There is a Tremors Call of Duty happening with LoJack. You can sign up in the Discord. There's a Tremors Discord now. Go check that out. More information and shit. I don't really get paid for any of this, so I always like to plug cool organizations that I know. I talked about this in the other one, the Tremors pilot. There's an organization, some friends of mine, actually they're old childhood friends, that started because their brother died of a heroin overdose because he obviously took too much, and they were like, oh, we're scared, and didn't take him to the hospital. And he actually could have been saved and died, and it's just the absolute worst. And they have this foundation. It's the Lava Lamp Foundation. Support them however you can. They have some great comfy sweaters and shirts. I always yes, I'm going to support them. If you want, you can support me too. There's a button somewhere, I don't know, on the Podbean or something. But also, I don't know, I love other people more. Buy Steve Wilson's books. That's always my huge thing. Like Tucker's Monster and Frady Cats. If you want to get more stuff out there and you want to get them doing stuff, that helps. And then watching the Lost Tapes, make sure you subscribe. Because Steve sees that and it just goes up. I was fucking freaking out today because Steve was, oh, yeah, Levi's amazing. Oh my God, I can't believe Levi's been building that followers so much. I'm like, oh shit, man, I'm gonna, stop saying my name, Steve. If you want to do an impression of me too, I don't mind. Quid pro quo. I gotta thank my pappy and my mom and my sister Lacey and her nephews, especially my nephews. I've shared a video of them playing Tremors together. They're a huge inspiration to me. I'm always trying to put more out there. They are subscribed to the Tremors Saga YouTube channel now, so they can even end up seeing me. It's kind of terrifying. And they're always watching me now. So I love you guys. I love you, Lacey. I love you, Ma. I love you, Pappy. And my final one, because she's the best. Thank you to Caitlin Marie Lutt, my wife, my love, my everything, for supporting, making all of this really happen. You're the best. Yeah. The movie kept going, so now I'm in Tremors 6, and I'm just so mad. I may have gotten a little weird there. It's back on. Fuck. But thank you to all those people. Thank you, everybody, for inputting. And yeah, just everything you do makes this happen more. And the more we can get this, and the more we can get this story out there, the more we stop this from happening to anybody else ever again. Fuck yeah, man. For all of us. So, yeah, I like to, I like to sign off with something funny or hilarious, but really, this one's just good enough, guys, that just go and rewatch Tremors, the series. Go watch all 13 episodes. Go cleanse your palate. Go watch a better movie. Go watch Pacific Rim and Jurassic Park and the Chronicles of Riddick instead of Tremors 5 through 7, because those are better movies. And at this point, make sure you fucking pirate them, because don't be giving Universal any more of your money. Yeah. Yeah, guys. On that, keep doing what you can with what you got, because when you need it and don't have it, you sing a different tune. I am Levi Dylan Burzloff Lutt, and this has been the Talking Tremors podcast. Yeah.